Hey guys, so for today, right, I was thinking Apple has released a lot of iPhones throughout the years. So in 2023, we have a great lineup. Now that's fantastic because, well, now there's a phone for everyone and you have a couple options to go for. Now, at the same time, it can be confusing to know what iPhone is what and why you should buy one over the other, so the lineup can be a bit confusing. Now, my purpose for today is to break up the 2023 current iPhone lineup, starting from the entry model iPhone all the way up to the highest end iPhone. Now, starting in with the iPhone SE third generation. This phone came out in 2023, 2022, comes in three colors: product red, space gray, and silver. We get three storage configurations: 64, 128, and 256. Now, the iPhone SE, well, it looks a bit dated, I should say. The iPhone SE, it has our old iPhone 8, which was really kind of like the iPhone 7, which was like the iPhone 6S, which was like the iPhone 6 design. So it does have a bit of an older design. Now, what it lacks in design, well, it makes up in power. Let me explain myself. The iPhone SE is powered by an A15 Bionic processor. The A15 Bionic processor is the same processor as the iPhone 13's processor and 13 mini. So by no means is it slow. It tackles daily tasks with ease, and I do note the performance in terms of battery on the iPhone SE was not exactly the best. Because the iPhone SE is actually the worst performing iPhone in terms of battery out of all these. But that's okay, because it doesn't strive to be the best iPhone, right? It's just a phone for someone that wants something to text on, they want to make calls, they want to play a game or two, they just want to get daily tasks done. They want an iPhone, right? They want to get into the Apple ecosystem. And for $429, I don't think that's bad at all. That's a pretty good deal. Now, we also have a glass back on the iPhone SE, and we have a 12 megapixel camera, a single 12 megapixel camera. It's the only phone that has one lens, but that's okay. Now, moving on onto the iPhone 12, the regular 12 that is. The iPhone 12, well, it has an interesting history. The iPhone 12, it was released in 2020. It introduced 5G on iPhones, and we went back to the box form factor. So, yeah, interesting, right? We got OLEDs on our regular iPhones for the first time ever. Because before, up to this point, well, we only had LCDs on normal phones. So the 8 Plus, the 8, the XR, and the 11, well, they all had LCD displays and they were great. But OLEDs, well, they were only available for the higher end 999 iPhones. So the iPhone X, the XS, and the 11 Pro. So the fact that we got OLEDs, well, that's a big upgrade. We have a main 12 megapixel camera or lens, I should say, and a telephoto. I mean, an ultra wide lens. I'm sorry, I get confused. There are a lot of iPhones, as I said, but you should know it's a ultra wide. Now, we also got upgraded water resistance on the iPhone 12. from 1 meter on the iPhone SE for 30 minutes to 6 meters on the iPhone 12 for 30 minutes. So you should be pretty good in terms of throwing it in your pool or even swimming with it a bit, as long as you don't overdo it. Now, the iPhone 13. The 13, it has been one of my favorite lineups in iPhones when they released, right? The iPhone 13, well, first thing I love about it is its design. 13 mini and the 13 have great designs, and that's all due to the cameras, because literally that's the only thing that changes. Well, at least at first glance. And also our notch becomes a tad bit smaller. It's noticeable enough. For me, if you compare both phones side by side, you can notice how the iPhone 13 mini and 13's notch is a bit smaller. So you have a little bit more of screen, not much, but it's a little bit. The iPhone 6, 13 I mean, it comes in 6 colors as well. The 12, well, it came in black, white, product red, green, purple, and blue. Now on the 13, well, we have blue, product red, starlight, pink, green, and midnight. Going into the 14, I apologize. Going into the 13, well, we have upgraded brightness from 625 nits on the iPhone 12 to 800 nits on the iPhone 13 mini and 13. We also get a bit better battery life compared to the 12. And if you live in the US, it's our last phone with a SIM card tray. Because only in the US, which is unfortunate. Anyways, now moving. Oh, another factor that I forgot to mention is that the iPhone 13, it comes in 3 storage configurations, but our base model now is updated or upgraded to 128 gigabytes. So we have more storage now on the base model, and now we can go all the way up to 512 on a regular iPhone. So we got 128, 256, and 512. So that's something you might want to take into consideration. Moving into the current lineup. By the current lineup, I mean the iPhone 14 and the 14 Pros. So the iPhone 14, I'm not exactly sure what to say about it. Because the iPhone 14, well, it doesn't have a SIM card. It pretty much has the same chip. It's an A15 Bionic. Yeah, it's the same one from the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, which is a little bit better than the regular iPhone 13's processor, but not a whole lot. And it has the same design. Yeah, the colors are a bit different. Now we have, let me see here. We have product red, starlight, midnight, purple, and a blue. They do look a bit different. And we also have the addition of the 14 Plus. But other than that, I'm not exactly sure what to say about it. Some ups though is that, well, now we're able to record in cinematic mode at 4K at 30 frames per second compared to 1080p at 30 frames per second on the iPhone 13 mini and 13.
Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the land. Savannah, I'm coming.
We also get ProMotion on the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So we're able to go to 120 Hz on the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro, it starts at $999. The Pro Max starts at $1099. We get a max brightness or a peak brightness of 2000 nits outdoors, which helps out a lot. And we get an upgraded A16 processor, which Apple claims to be the fastest processor on a smartphone currently. We get also a updated or upgraded 48 megapixel main camera, which allows you to take pictures in pictures. Take note that the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are the only iPhones in Apple's current lineup that they are selling that can take raw pictures. We get stainless steel edges, or sides, that's to say. We get four colors, those being gold, silver. I'm trying to remember here. The deep purple, and okay, so I figured it out. It is gold, silver. We get that black color, or space black, as Apple calls it, and finally the new deep purple color. Same thing with the 14s, right? They start at 128 base storage, but for the 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max, we have the ability of going up to a terabyte of storage. So we have 128, 256, 512, and terabyte. Also, take note that the iPhone 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max are the only phones that can also take ProRes videos, and if you want the full ability, well, you're gonna have to go for the 256, as Apple caps it at 1080 at 30 frames per second ProRes videos on the 128 storage. Now, I believe that's all for now. That's all I have to say about the current 2022 lineup, and I hope this video at least helped you understand the current lineup a bit better. That's all for now, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.
Let's all take a ride. Savannah.